Singapore, located in Southeast Asia, off the southern tip of Malaysia, and north of Indonesia. Singapore is not just one island, the country is made up of 63 separate islands, covering a total surface area of 728.6 square kilometers. That's nearly 4 times the size of Washington, D.C. The mainland of Singapore measures 50 kilometers from east to west, and 27 kilometers from north to south, with 193 kilometers of coastline. Humans settled the islands that now form Singapore at least as early as the 2nd century AD, but little is known about the early history of the area. The name Singapore originates from the Malay word Singapura, that is used for the country, which in turn was derived from Sanskrit, and translates as Lion City. Many kingdoms conquered Singapore at different times in history. Singapore was a major trading post in the powerful Sumatran Srivijaya Empire, from the 7th to 13th centuries, and extended over much of the Malay peninsula. By the early 16th century, Singapore was occupied by the Islamic sultanate of Malacca. The modern history of Singapore began in 1819, when Englishman, Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, established a British port on the island. Under British colonial rule, Singapore grew in importance as a center for trade. During World War II, Singapore was conquered and occupied by the Japanese Empire, from 1942 to 1945. In 1959, Singapore became a self-governing state under the British government, with Lee Kuan Yew becoming the Prime Minister, who was the leader of the People's Action Party. In August 1963, Singapore declared independence from the British rule, and joined the Federation of Malaysia, along with Malaya, Sabah and Sarawak. However, after ideological conflicts between Malaysia and Singapore, Singapore left the Federation in 1965, and on 9 August in the same year, gained sovereignty officially. From its independence in 1965, Singapore achieved almost uninterrupted economic growth for over the 3 decades that followed. Along with Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan, it was called one of the 4 tigers of Asian economic prosperity. Although Singapore is one of the smallest city-states in the world, its economic prosperity dwarfs its size. Singapore has one of the highest per capita income in the world. 17% of the population, or 1 in every 6 people, has assets worth $1 million or more, which is the highest in the world. The home ownership rate in Singapore is a staggering 92% and is the highest in the world. More than 80% of Singapore population lives in government-subsidized houses. Singapore is one of the most amazing countries in the world. Let's see some facts that you may not know. Most of you know that chewing gum is banned in Singapore, other than for medicinal uses. Singaporeans are the fastest pedestrians in the world, with an average walking speed of 6 kilometers per hour, and there is a height limit on how tall a building can be. Singapore has 280 meters height limit for its buildings. No building can be taller than that, and there are 5 buildings that are exactly 280 meters in heights. And one building, the Gualco Tower, is nearly 290 meters, for which a special permission was granted by the government. Proximity to the nearby military air base is one of the main reasons for the height limit.